I have been making and drinking my own bone broth for the last year and a half now, and I've learned that roasting gives you a richer, denser, more savory flavor and color, and it also releases the marrow faster, which is what you want since that's where all the collagen is. I'm going to give you 4 easy steps to roast bones for bone broth, and then I'll give you some tips on what to do with the bones when you're done. Now, before you start, you need bones. Any bones will make bone broth, but the right bones will get you the highest collagen and the best nutrition. So what kind of bones do you need? Marrow bones, knuckle bones, or chicken feet. Yes, really chicken feet. Those kinds of bones have the highest collagen and nutrition value. Sometimes you can buy them in the meat section at a grocery store, but my favorite is to get them in bulk from the local butcher and put the extra bones in the freezer. First things first, preheat that oven to 350 degrees up to 475. I know that's a huge range, but some people like to have that really deep roasted flavor, nice and fast, and some people really want to pull out that marrow a little bit more. So go at a lower heat to pull the marrow out more and go for a higher heat for a more dense roasted flavor. Next, you want to rinse the bones to get rid of any impurities or any freezer burn, and then dump the water off and pat the bones dry. This will help you get a better roast, and it also helps with popping in the oven because when those oils start to release from the bones and mix with the water, there gets to be a lot of popping, and that can make a big mess. Then you want to place it on the tray to prep it for roasting. Now here, sometimes people will oil it. I don't think that's necessary though, because if you have the right bones, those bones are going to have a lot of their own oils that will release in the roasting. And salting is also optional. Some say that it improves the flavor and that it pulls the marrow out. Personally, I haven't noticed too much of a difference with it helping with pulling the marrow out or with flavor, but I just salt it for good measure. Another optional step is to cover it with foil. This helps to keep the popping down to a minimum, but it feels a little bit more like baking it, and really that helps get the marrow out, but it doesn't help necessarily with the flavor. So if you're looking for more flavor, I wouldn't cover the bones. Then bake it for about 45 minutes to an hour, really until it's golden. So just make sure that you're watching it come that 45-minute mark and see if it's roasted as much as you like. You can also pull it out and flip it over midway, and that does help you get a better roasted flavor. Now you can see in these marrow bones that the marrow is starting to come out, and right here it's already come out, which is exactly what you want, because when that marrow comes out, it's going to come into your bone broth a lot more and be a lot more available to you. And all that marrow is going to put off a lot of tallow, which is that creamy oily layer on the top of your bone broth, and that oil has so many great uses. You can use it for medicines and creams and cosmetics, and even as a butter substitute, which I love. Now notice the 2 different kinds of bones I have here on the tray. The ones on the right, the lighter color, are the marrow bones, and those are great for all kinds of tallow. The ones on the left are the backbones, and those backbones really add a more meaty flavor and even a meaty smell, and that meaty smell carries on into the tallow, and so I don't like to use any kind of meaty bones for the tallow that I'm using for my medicines or my creams. And I don't like to rub things into my face and hands that smell like roast. I don't know anyone who does, but I mean, there could be some of you out there who like that, but not me. I'll be doing a video all about the uses of tallow and the best ways and worst ways to use it. If that's up your alley, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. And now that those bones are roasted, they are ready to go into the pot to make some bone broth. Now here I'm putting it into my roaster pot. I actually really like to use the slow cooker. That one's my favorite, but you can also use a stovetop pot or even an Instapot to make bone broth. Now here's another quick tip. There's a lot of flavor left on your roasting pan in that oil and in the little spots that are roasted onto the pan. So just scrape that off and then put that in with the bones in your bone broth. If you're struggling to get it scraped off, just add a little bit of warm water and that will help you to be able to scrape that off and into the pot. That's going to add some beautiful flavor. It's also going to add that tallow. Now, if you don't know how to make bone broth, I've got an entire video for you. I will link it right here in the video and also down in the description. You just make that bone broth and then strain out the bones, and then you set the bones aside, either wrapped up in the fridge or wrapped up in the freezer, and then they're ready for you when you're ready to make more bone broth. Now I can usually get 2 or 3 solid batches of bone broth out of each set of bones. So it'll get a little bit less fatty, a little bit less tallow, a little bit less collagen each time, but it's still really good. Now don't throw those bones away, because there are a handful of things that you can do with those bones. Now, first of all, you're going to notice after all of that time cooking, those bones are going to be soft enough that you can crush them with a fork. At that point, you can literally just take a bite, like as if it's some kind of a calcium supplement, and you just chew it up and eat it. As they cool off, they will get hard again. You're going to pull them out and let them dry. Once they're dry, they're going to be very, very brittle. And then you stick it into a blender and grind it up. That way I can turn it into a calcium supplement either for myself to throw in my soups and into my tacos and into whatever else that I'm cooking for dinner. And I can also throw some out to the chickens that helps with their shell hardening and shell creation. And you can also put it in the garden. Look up different plants and see if your plants need calcium. You can watch this video on how to make bone broth, and this other video is one that YouTube recommends for you. I recommend you watch those videos and let me know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see done about bone broth. And I will see you on the next Desert Forest Gardens adventure. Thanks for watching.